Welcome everyone. I know I've been slow with the uploads even though I had a channel trailer claiming that I'll be making lots of uploads, but as you know, the documentary is coming soon. And as I promised, I'll do more Criterion reviews, I'll do more Masters of Cinema reviews, and I'll also be doing in-depth looks at directors, and that will come soon. That's voiceover work, as I said, from doing the documentary. It's a lot of voiceover work, so it's like I don't want to do any more on top of that at the moment, but soon I will do those kind of videos. But for now, here's another review of a Criterion film that I imported during my time in America. Well, not imported, I bought it there and brought it over, along with a region-free Blu-ray player. And today's review is going to be on 5 Easy Pieces. Five Easy Pieces came out in 1970, directed by Bob Rafelson, starring Jack Nicholson in a role as an oil rigger who travels back to his childhood home due to his sick father. And it is here the past is brought up and his musical background and, his whole family, his whole middle class upbringing and why he ran away from it. And, along with that, he's facing his emotions and responsibility. And the first thing to say about this is it is a rewatch for me, and the story as a whole can be commented on as being a representation of American alienation at this time. And, think of it, it's 1970, this is a time of great counterculture, political change, and protests against things like war. Also, it is more than just a film that has a political kind of look at the grand scheme of things, because it's a real dissection of the Jack Nicholson's character. And the character he plays, Bobby, is probably one of the most complex characters we've seen in film. I think I only really picked up on this the second time watching it. Really is a very complex role. It's very understated. I think this is probably, Nicholson in his most understated role. Very subtle. We know Jack Nicholson as being a big actor. You look at The Shining and, and his role as the Joker in Batman. He's a very eccentric big actor. I mean, he's a fantastic one at that. And in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest too. But 5 Easy Pieces, everything's very toned down. But this is one of the films that put him on the map, and it really is a wonderful film. This is easily one of Nicholson's best performances, as I've said, and one of his most poignant. Jack Nicholson plays a very emotionally conflicted man who is still drifting through his life. He's in his mid-30s and yet he still hasn't figured out what exactly he wants to do and has no real direction in his life, nothing that he really cares about. And he drifts through the plot, and this is something that frustrates him in his life. But his real frustration is with himself, with his inability to communicate his feelings. The progression of the film is quite simple and everything comes down to the raw performances. Immediately we feel the history between Bobby and his girlfriend and family just through the dialogue and the looks that they give each other and the physical presence itself of how they interact with one another. Not to spoil too much, but there's a great scene involving Bobby's family and his girlfriend that was brought along, and you do get a real sense of where he came from and what it was that made him want to escape. It's not necessarily a moment where the audience is having to judge the middle class, but it shows what it means to the Jack Nicholson character of Bobby. It shows that he feels alienated in this environment. And really that's where the political side can come into it, and especially in one other great scene when you have this very pompous woman who, no doubt that you will not like in this film, who's saying all these, big words and big ideas, and she just keeps rambling and rambling, and it's the sort of thing that you would just, it's worse than hearing some college students talk about this stuff. It's really the middle class shitting all over the working class in this moment, and Bobby reacts to this. It's a great moment in the film because and then you have another character who just keeps complaining about the world being bad, and she's not doing anything to help, so there's a real contradiction to it. But so the film does have some elements of humor, but very very clever social commentary behind it, and beyond just being comical moments, this film is really a really poignant watch. And it's a film full of riddles, and it's a very easy one to revisit because it's only 98 minutes, and yeah, it's one of those films from the 70s that's very understated and absolutely enriching. It's engaging with emotion and character while also adding to a larger social political message. I couldn't recommend this film enough. Absolutely, one of the best of the 70s. And as for the Blu-ray itself, the first time I saw this, it was on a download, and this is a very good quality edition. And inside, we've got the cool cover. I love this picture. This is him basically barking at a dog. In the front, we've got him playing the piano, which I think it's a very wonderful image. And then we have the nice little booklet. And the thing about the Criterion booklets is I do prefer Masters of Cinema ones simply because they're more like booklets. This is more like a handout, And it's not as nice, having to put it away, you have to fiddle around with it. I haven't read what's in here yet, but I believe it's just essays about the film, of course. And on the disc, there's a good few things here. There's a little documentary that I did watch. I haven't watched everything, but there's a documentary on the making of the film, and it was interesting to see what Raffleson had to say about it. And also we have an essay, the essays in here by Kent Jones, trailers, audio excerpts from a 1976 AFI interview with Raffleson, and a few other things. Yeah, so in terms of special features and everything, this is a great package. And to my American friends out there, definitely hunt this one down. In fact, anyone, make the effort, hunt this one down along with many of the other great Criterion releases, because this is a very fine one indeed. So that's it, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the review, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this film. What do you think it represents in the 70s? Do you think it's more a film about politics, or do you think it's more of a personal film about this one character? Or do you think it's both? Comment below, I'd love to hear your thoughts and start a discussion on this. And until next time, everyone, I'll see you then.